Yeah,
Pawansingh, welcome to the podcast.
thank you so much for inviting me in your first podcast.
No problem, no problem. Most welcome. Um, how you been? How are
Yeah,
you?
it's good so far. Yeah, long weekend was the long vacation for me this time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was pretty. It was raining. I heard Calgary had a little bit of hailstorm
Oh,
this
yeah.
weekend.
It was
Yeah,
severe.
was it really bad?
Yeah,
It was
lots
all
of
over the
lot.
news.
Yeah, mostly in the northeast and northwest part of the Calgary,
Yeah,
and it has so much, and it's just like a golf course ball kind. So it
right.
hits
Yeah,
houses and it damage lots of mostly houses and car. And I was lucky because in my area it didn't help, and my I didn't have garage, right? So my car was
yeah.
right, so I got little bit scared, but it was not that bad. Yeah.
Wasn't bad. Yeah, all over the place. So you own a pizza store. You are a master's in electrical engineer.
Yeah.
You had a good journey from Bihar to Canada and then all the way in the west coast of Canada.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk a little bit of your journey and then we hope we inspire somebody. And then we will see how it goes. Um, Pizza store. How is the store going? Tell us a little bit about where the store is at. How is it owning a store?
Yeah, I'll just tell you the background how I know about this store, right? Because people sometimes think that having the master degree, right, in electrical, right, a professional degree, and going back to the restaurant, right, so weird, right?
Yeah.
So I graduated from University of Windsor in electrical and computer engineering, and in student, right, while I was a student, I work in the restaurant as well as on a work permit also, and then joined the my actual field like electronics, and I worked around 1.5 years there. And after working the same job every day, right, so we and it was the morning shift, so I don't want to wake up in the morning. That is very hard. And in the Vancouver thing, always rains in the morning, so every time you go out it feels frustrating. So, and the job was same every day. Once you learn the things, you have to do everything right, same way, right? You're doing so. So that was the most frustrating thing. Then every day I used to come home, my wife see me, why you are so frustrated? Now you have the field job, right? I'm here to support you. Everything is going well. We are living in one of the best city now. So what's going wrong with you? I don't see. I'm not no happy with my work because I know you are happy because my wife works in IT, right? So for me, for her, it's waking up, just work from home in the evening, chilling out with the friends because she studied in the Vancouver. So all her friends were in the Vancouver, and their upbringing is totally different from me. They are night out person, right? I was not. So that time I shared with her, right, I'm willing to switch my career. So she asked me where you want to switch, right? So I also, because I have experience in the pizza store and also I'm looking to own one of these. So at that time I started looking, and one of my friend was living in Calgary and he came up with some store, right? Pawan, come and visit, take a look so we can start. And he was in same mood like me. So we both work together in a restaurant. So we have the little bit of similarity, right? Mindset and everything. So then I looked at it and it was in Calgary, right? And mm, most probably the one thing struck me, it is not much expensive than Vancouver. So it was also working in our favor. So my wife was working from home, so it doesn't matter, right? Going to office, so she moved along with me. So that time we decided to buy and we bought it, and it's going pretty well, better than job.
Better
So
than the job. Yeah,
job. So that's
yeah.
why I'm happy.
How is it owning a business in Calgary?
Uh, it's initially it's difficult because, right, first time you are owning, right, before you are working, so you are just thinking, oh, employer are like that, they are just making us work so hard. But when we go other side at that time, right, if you are not working, but we are always in headache, right, something go wrong in your store, right, and sometimes you feel, oh, competitions coming nearby you, how much it will hamper, right? So this weekend was slow. How can we manage, right? And every day we have to pay bi-weekly, right? Before when I was employee, getting bi-weekly was very good, right? But when you are paying bi-weekly, right? So initially, because we didn't have much balance, right, in your bank account, because you have
Yeah.
invested so much, right? Nothing left in your account. So initial was hard, but as soon as, right, we build up some money, right, and store went well in the summer last year. So it was pretty good then. For so far, no headaches.
No headaches so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, competition. Yeah, it's because I think where your store is at, it's a tourist place, right?
Yes,
It's somewhere along the
45 minutes drive from Calgary. It's in Black Creek.
Black
So
Creek.
it's a
Yeah,
tourist place. And from Black Creek,
tourist
you
place.
can go to Canmore, Banff, and Jasper within 1.5 hours. So
Right, so quick little stop if you want to go from
yeah,
Calgary to Banff, you can take like a little stop on your pizza store, and then you can move forward like that. And
yeah,
then yeah, competition plays a big role for sure, for sure. We just spoke about life being in BC and Alberta. I know you lived in Ontario. I
yeah,
live in Ontario right now. And I know Calgary, Toronto, and Vancouver, they're pretty much close to the markets there. More so with Vancouver and Toronto because they're huge.
yeah.
Right?
But it's
So
picking up. Yeah,
yeah, and then Calgary is picking up. It's picking up really, really fast.
yeah,
Lots of people are like just moving over there. I know it's one of the reasons that I've heard is is the sun. I know it's really, really cold over there. If you Canada overall, it's really chilly, anyways. But if you move over to the West Coast, towards Calgary and Manitoba, those places, they're really, really cold. They go up to -45, -50 in the coldest
yeah.
winters. But people are still moving. Can explain to us why that is. Why are people choosing to move from Ontario to Calgary? Because you moved there
Yeah. Because first thing is affordability, right? In Vancouver, right? If you're living in Vancouver or Toronto for two-bedroom apartment, you must be paying around $2,000, right, per month, minimum.
more than, yeah, at least.
Yeah, more than that one, right? Utilities is apart from that one, right? But it's not much expensive, but not like it's cheap also. So, but compared to Vancouver and Toronto, it's little bit affordable and nice place to live. Not much crowdy like Vancouver and Toronto. So if you give relaxation, right, to go anywhere, right, not much traffic. Like if you're stuck in the traffic in Vancouver and Toronto, you're gone sometimes. So that's
Yeah,
the main thing. And one thing is that people started moving here, the economy getting boom, and it's in Alberta, right? Oil and petroleum is the main thing for the economic source for this province, right? So this is the main uh, thing to earn money. And nowadays, Alberta government is launched the tech program, right? So all the head offices of all the IT industry are here because they are getting the subsidies and all. So all these sectors are moving here in the downtown and establishing their head offices. So this is the reason people started working from home. So downtown is vibrant here, not like dead some of the downtown. So this is the most obvious reason, and this location is very good that all the natural beauty is here in Mall. So all over the world, all over the province, people comes in Calgary to visit Banff, Jasper, and all those places. So these are the things which attracts the most of the people here, and yeah, and for our community, Indian community, it's also strong. So people are also moving from our community.
yeah, a lot of people, communities and
Yeah,
everything. And I know, I was explaining this, I think, to you last time. Overall in Canada, I guess for the viewers, overall in Canada, we have cold weather as it is,
yeah,
except if we go to BC, British Columbia, there it rains most of the time during the year. It's not that chilly, but it does rain all the time. So it's like it's always wet. Um, and then in Ontario, how it is if it gets cold, so for the winter time for 4 or 5 months. It's dark. It's just really dark. Like I just counted last winter of this year, 2023, and I think I saw sun like 12, 15 times the entire season.
mhm,
And that's one of the differences
yeah.
from Ontario and Calgary too. That Calgary is really, really sunny,
Yeah, I'll
right?
tell
Am
you
I?
what the
Yeah.
difference is, right? What I felt from BC and Toronto, that here there is a one thing, right? Chinook winds. So in the winter, what happens? Suppose it snows 2 or 3 days continuously, right? And it's built up so much snow. And after 1 week, it will not snow. It's not like regular snow kind of thing. So it will stop after 2 or 3 days, and the Chinook winds comes and it's blow everything. So no snow at all in the winter also. So this is the advantage of the Calgary. And it's always bright while it's snowing or raining sometimes, always bright. So that's why one of the sunniest place in the Canada, right? So
Yeah.
this brings people more in because due to the Chinook winds, it's blow everything after 1 week or 2 weeks. So you feel, oh, snow gone. And it's not continuous snowing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
the
And
part.
it's sunny. Like you know when the day starts, you know when
Yeah.
the day ends. It's not
Never
like
depressed,
Toronto.
right? You are not boring at all, right? When you see through a window, everything bright. Yeah, it's cold, -40, but from outside it looks very pretty.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Um, I guess we can dive into what I wanted to tell the viewers is a little bit about your life and then a little bit about your journey, and then maybe somebody a person or a second person can maybe learn something, and hopefully we can teach somebody something. Um, Tell us a little bit about your birthplace, your family, where you live, or where your family used to live, where you were born, and how you moved from where you were at to Gujarat, how we met, where we
Yeah.
met in India. Yeah.
Yeah, because right now, what I'm thinking, right? How I came here when I see my past, how I landed here, I don't know. So, yeah, for your
It's
viewers, I will tell I'm not no actual Gujarati kind of proper Gujarati. uh, so, I born in Bihar, one of the province in India. It's the eastern or northern side, you can consider it. And initially, now, no, you know already, right? In the if you're born in villages, there is no facilities and all, no importance to the education and all, right? People ultimately believe after some standards of study, right, or some grade of study, you have end up in doing the farming and all such things. So it's a pretty obvious for me also because my elder brother, my elder sister, they didn't have good education also because they dropped out from their schools because they did not want to study because the atmosphere was like that, right? Because if you see somebody, right, after studying, they are successful after now doing masters or anything else, the people intend to go there, right? Because they also enjoy that kind of life set they have. But there were no such examples for us. So we think, oh, after studying fifth standard or sixth grade, it's that's enough, right? Then we can start early going in a construction job or anything like that. The same thing
Hmm.
was with me, but my father was like kind of different because he was working in the Gujarat and he was little bit of exposure of education, right? Importance of education. So he thought, right, one of my son and daughter did not study, right? So let's try for the youngest one. So
Which
he
is you.
called me,
So
right? So he wanted to
yeah,
just change the environment totally because then he called to the Gujarat province, right, for me.
yeah,
So they are
yeah,
right. So
yeah.
this is
So
how I came to Gujarat. Yeah.
right. So yeah, yeah. I think yeah, Gujarat is it's one of the provinces. It's on the west coast of India. And then born in a village where there's pretty much no education. And
Yeah.
then that's what the environment was. I remember you telling me um like you telling me stories of what you've seen, in your backyard and stuff, like things that
Yeah.
you've experienced in the very, very early stage of your life, which I don't think anybody should be experiencing those or seeing those in their life at that stage. But dangerous place, poor place, I guess, with less education. And
Lots of
then, but
time.
your father was already lots of crime, lots of crime. But your father was already in Gujarat, because which where I was born, where we met basically. In Gujarat is it's a lot of people are educated. There's industries, you can make something out of yourself. So he basically called you over there. I guess he wrote a letter to your mom, because he was alone in Gujarat, and then he's like, you have to send the youngest one, and then so to me, so he can make something out of himself, because over there in Bihar it's gonna be impossible for you to make anything. And then you came over to Kadi. Explain to us where you were living. So tell us where you were living in Gujarat. And even in Gujarat, we used to live in a town which was Kadi. It wasn't even
Yeah.
in Gujarat. We were not living in a big big city. We eventually moved there, not together, but separately. But we both moved to the same big city. But before that, we it was the same small town. A little bit of education, a little bit of where you
Mhm.
can at least start making something out of yourself. Tell us about how you were living, the living conditions. Um, please.
Yeah, because as soon as I came to Gujarat, right? So it was similar to kind of the environment it is in the Gujarat also. But I'm not saying whole Gujarat, but the part my father used to be in the society, that was like a slum area. So not educated people, nothing like that, right? Everyone working in a labor job, or all such stuff was there. So for me, it was not surprising because I have faced the same condition there, right? So I thought, oh, it's Gujarat. That's only the province got changed. But the why my father was living there, because he was not earning much, so we cannot afford the big houses or apartments in the good society, right? So that's why my father moved there, because only 250 rupees rent there, right? So, and we can save money, so we can send to our mother so she can live there in Bihar and all. So that's why we
Yeah,
started living there. It's not like we choose to live there because it's similar to Bihar situation. No, we didn't afford it at that time. That's why we moved there. And it was not surprising for me. But my father always wanted to go to the English medium school. So there was only one English medium school at that time. So I went there for the to get admission in that one. So they get in the test paper to know which standard I'm supposed to be at that time. So I still remember I got the 3 marks in that one in 40 marks. So I got failed. Then principal came and then she told, oh, he's going to spoil the result of our 10th grade, because right at that time no reputation school was builds on that one. How much, right? People are students getting good marks in the board exam, so right, so they get more students, right? So they did not want their right result to be get bad at that time. Then she recommended it's better to go for the Hindi medium school. And then my father that time told, no, no, if my son wants to study Hindi medium school, then Bihar is better place than Gujarat, because Gujarati is the main language here, not Hindi. So might be the Hindi medium education will be good in Bihar, not in Gujarat. But somebody suggested, right? One uncle was with me, he was working with my father, and he told, oh, my son is also studying in that school, and might uh, he can help you with your kid, right? So my father talked to him, and I went him, and we talked to him also. He told, oh, let's do 6 months tuition classes, so we'll have the basic knowledge of English, ABCD and all such things, like writing and all. Then there I did 6 months, and then I went to get the admission, and again I got failed, because in 6 months you cannot do anything, right? Just right, because at that time it's hard for me to speak Hindi also. So I was mixing the my native dialect and the Hindi also while I was there. So at that time, uh, principal decided that we are not going to promote him in the sixth standard, because his English is not good. He cannot cope up with the students. So they downgraded me for one standard. So this is how I got admission in fifth grade there, and started journey from there on.
yeah, yeah. You had to. They lowered you down to one class, because English wasn't your primary, and English medium, because English is not our primary language.
Yeah,
We speak either Hindi or whatever your mother tongue or native tongue is. So they clearly told you not to. They're not gonna. Don't. We're not gonna give you admission because you're gonna spoil our results. So
yeah,
just go back to maybe Hindi medium school or something. But then your dad was like, no, no, it's not gonna happen. We're gonna try and we're gonna study in English medium in a school. And then it was a struggle. I know it was a struggle because I visited your place. I used to come. I think we met on fifth or sixth standard when you joined the
in
school.
fifth standard. Yeah,
In fifth standard, yeah, yeah. And then eventually you ranked up, and then you were ranking in top three. You were getting first rank or second or third. But eventually you bumped up. And then I started studying with you. My mom was just like, you gotta study with this guy, and then
yeah, I
learn
know.
something from him. And then I was like, okay, yeah. let me go and study with him. And I came to visit your place. It was a surprise to me because I've never seen a place like that. I've never
Yeah,
seen
you
a
never been
community
there.
like
Yeah.
that. So it was a surprise. Explain to everybody why it was a surprise. What kind of situation was it?
Hmm.
And then how old you were? You were living with your dad, I think. Uh,
So at that time, I was 11 or 12 years old at that time. And for me, it was not surprising. For my friends and colleagues, for my friends and all the people, right, I know in the schools, right, they for them it was surprising because they were never lived that life because they had all the facilities. In my place, in that slum area, there is no electricity, no washrooms, no water. So
in the
for
entire area.
uh,
In the entire area.
in the entire area, in the entire that community.
So how
So
were you guys managing
yeah. So when you get up in the morning, first thing it was clear. It's clear in mind. We have to get water first. So first we have to take 2 gallons, put on the bicycle, ride 1 kilometer. Then there was one oil natural gas plant. They have provided us the water facilities. So for
oil factory? Yeah.
yeah, all factory was there, right? So they provided us the water, right, facilities for us. So we just fill those gallons and put on the bicycle again, ride 1 kilometer, come back, the water problem gone for in the morning first of all. And then electricity was never it was not there, right? So we had the lamp with the kerosene. So it was same thing in Bihar. So it didn't bother me. So I cope up with that one. But water was different thing. In Bihar, we have the hand pump. So no need to go for the water in the early in the morning to get somewhere from else, right? So then washrooms. It's very difficult in Gujarat, right? Because there is no washroom and the land is not like Bihar, right? Plain land. Here the kind of, deserts kind of things, right? And early in the morning, right, you have to go, no one can see, right? For the washroom. So that was most difficult one, right? And then electricity, I already discussed, right? So these are the problems, and there is no such thing that I can go to school, right? It's very far from that area. So I have the bicycle. There is no auto rickshaw, nothing like that, right? We just get ready and go. And I had only one room. There is no one bedroom kind of thing there. I have one private room. In that one, we have to sleep, we have to cook, and we have to take bath. So these are the things. And I was habituated kind of those things because lots of people from my village or from Bihar, they were living in that area because they cannot afford it at that time. So it's similar for everyone. So I thought, oh, I'm not alone suffering it. So everyone is here the same page. But when I went to school, then I saw all my friends, they are not coming from this kind of background. So for them, whenever they visit my room or house, they get surprised. Oh, how he's doing like that. So these are the things, right, for everyone, right? Oh, how he's managing those things, the education, right, and also managing the all the household problem, right?
Yeah,
So
because I know at that time your brother was working in Dubai. He was doing labor. I think he still is in Dubai. Your sister was already married to somebody.
yeah,
And in India, yeah, and then we still have that culture in India where father is the bread earner of the house. He earns. Mother is the housewife, and then family lives together. Father is the one who pays off everything for their kids, make sure the kids get proper education and all that things. And then he I still remember it wasn't even a room that you had. It was we call them koli in Hindi. They're basically, I mean, it wasn't even a house. It was just the room where you were living. It was a
yeah,
room that was half of the size of the room that I'm in right now. Half of the size, it was you and your dad.
yeah,
And it would be those rooms in an area which was outside the town of Kadi where we were studying. So a little bit of an area outside, where you had your own community people, everybody living together with basically no facilities from government whatsoever. I know eventually like things started coming, water and electric, like everything,
yeah.
but for a few
After
years you didn't
five,
have
3 to
anything.
4 years after it came everything. But before there was no electricity, but in the summer it's very hard to study. Before in the lamp, where you were studying with the lamp, in the summer it sweats so much, and all the mosquitoes and all comes. That was a very no, not a very bad part for me,
Yeah.
because in winter you survive, right? Doesn't matter. You can just with the blankets and all, but in the summer it's so hard, right? Sweating a lot, right? And so in
Yeah.
Gujarat the temperatures go 50 degree.
Yeah, 50 degrees Celsius, and in the same room, you and your dad would be sleeping.
Yeah,
One person would sleep on the what is it called? On the floor, and then the other person would sleep on like a little bed. And then you would cook over there with the little
yeah.
furnace,
You have to
and then
stop
there
there.
was in the same place, in the same like I don't
Same
know, four by
one
four.
room. You have to put also all your stuff, everything.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all your things and then everything, and you're pretty much like little kitchen is there, and you have a little spot where like you clean your hands and everything. Same room.
everything.
Yeah, yeah, and then it was I remember coming to your place and I was just surprised and but I mean tell us your journey. How was that transition? I know only for me coming to this country from India, it took me like 6 months, 8 months just
Yes,
to get habituated with everything. And then I know it was pretty much the same thing for you from Bihar to Kadi, where it was a language barrier, different people, because don't speak the same language, English medium school as well, which is like already tough as it is, and you don't know nothing about anything about English, but and then starting from there and eventually in 2 3 years like basically getting three marks to getting um first rank, second rank, third rank. How was that journey?
yeah, that journey was very good for me and not surprising for me also, right? I never expected, so it was beyond my expectations, right? So the main motivation for me was you guys. When I use when I go to school and I see all you guys, oh, their lives is so beautiful, right? They're coming sometime night, they are coming with the school bus, or some of their mom dropping them, right? All those things are happening, right? And for me, so someone, my dad told me like that, if you are in good in study, you will get all those things, you will also have all those things. So I kind of got motivated, oh, I have to study and all those things. So it start, because but I never imagined, right, I'll be good in study, because I was struggling with the language problem. So I only knew only one subject. I was confident in only one subject, that was math. So there was no English required in that, so we'll just see the symbols and do it. So other subjects were very tough for me. So the when I got the tuitions from the teacher who was teaching there, that was more profitable for me, because they taught me a lot. And the main thing, I got the first rank early. That was not supposed to be, but it happened. Because for me, right? Because suppose you know everything, so you keep the things for last. Oh, I'll do it. But I didn't know anything, so I have to manage every day. So whatever the chapters teacher used to teach me, right, at that time, so I used to do everything every day, because I don't want to be get burden on the time at the time of the exam. And I cannot handle those things, because I cannot understand all those things in one day or write in one night. So I just kept it simple for me. I'm not competing with anyone. I'm just I knew myself, and I want to do how the class in class this things gets progress. So one chapter done today, I have to finish that chapter. And this is how I did it. But luckily I got the first rank. But before getting the first rank, there was exam and I got the 30 there was total 39 student. I got 38th rank. So I was so happy that someone is studying from nursery in English medium and he's behind me. That kind of motivation at that time. And then the second exam came, I got 23rd rank, like kind of thing. So no, you get get some praise from your from your friends and all. And that say it gave me motivation and confidence to work, and I work it, and I got the first rank. It was surprising for me as soon as I entered the classroom to get to see the result. Because right, in our school, right, they put the first or second rank on a blackboard and they decorate it with a different kind of color chalk, right? So I
Yeah.
didn't look at that one, but some of my friends, right, and their parents came and congratulated me. Then I realized, oh, I got the first rank. And it was not happy moment for me. It was surprising for me because I, in my heart, I thought it's very hard to maintain it because I'm not capable of maintaining it because I thought I luckily I got it at that time. So I got a little bit depressed. I went home. What to do next? If I won't get it, then what people will think? He might get right. He copied from somebody else, or he right. Somebody people will think like that. If they will think or not think is their problem. But I thought like that. So it right. I got depressed and it's so much burden on me. Oh, what to do now? Then right. Every when exam approaches, I get sick. When exam approaches, I get sick. So that was the main reason that what expectations pressure you can call it. So due to that, but I thought if I give try, so I cannot get first rank, but within five I can get it. So it can maintain my right kind of no education, and I can be a confident guy in the classroom, or people can know me. That was the main reason for me to study there. And it started, and after 2 or 3 years, I was confident, right? And not like, oh, I cannot compete with these guys. So after 2 or 3 years, it became everything fine, and it was chill after that.
Yeah, yeah. Getting to success and maintaining it, it's two different things.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's hard to it's hard to get to rank one, and it's even harder to maintain it because then you're just worried about
like same
people
thing,
are
like you
gonna
start
say
gym, but maintaining is very hard.
maintaining is hard. You start working out, yes, it's the same thing. Um, I know we're short on time on this one, so we're gonna do part two on this one.
Yeah.
So bear with us. Hello, record to this computer. Okay, we are back. We were just talking about your journey from Bihar to Kadi, and then Kadi, learning English, learning new place, people.
Yeah.
Um, how were you managing your fees and everything at that time? Because you said your dad was living with you during that time.
At that time, no, the fee was not like that much. We cannot afford it because my dad was earning 3,000 rupees, right? And the fee was, I think, 250 rupees per month. So, and I was living with my daughter. So I'm not living separately that he has to give me every month like pocket money or room rent and all those stuff for, right? And grocery and all. So I was living with him, right? So only just paying for the school fees and all. Yeah, I cannot afford it for the extra activities like going picnic and all. But for the basic like study materials and books and all, it was affordable for me at that time.
Yeah, and I know at some point you started taking classes too, right? Was it in Kadi or was it after high school?
I think it was in ninth standard. I think I started doing that because my father was not in Gujarat to support me. So along with that, I was teaching with the no seventh or sixth grade students. Yeah, but I was not charging them. Yeah,
Ah, okay.
because
Oh,
what
so it
I thought,
was
right, someone helped me. So now someone requested me, so I was helping them. Yeah,
just trying to give it back to the community and people, I guess. And at that time, I remember you had because where you were living in that area, there was a school nearby, and then there was the dean of the school. So the one of the trustees of the school, he got in contact with you. Really nice guy, well, very very respected in that town of Kadi. And then he, I think, got in touch with you, and then he helped you a little bit, right? I guess we're gonna talk more about how he helped and how people can come in our lives, and
yeah,
I guess if we keep on doing good, people they appear
yeah,
and then they help us. And I guess I don't know, but after high school. So I know in Kadi we only had we call them grades standard, or 10th, 9th standard, 10th standard, and then the school wasn't capable to teach people high school, 11th and 12th standard we used to call them. So you and me, I guess me, we moved to Ahmedabad separately, of course, right? Because I was living with my family and everything. So we both passed 12th, 10th, and it's the boards there, and then we moved to Kadi. I'm studying still in Gandhinagar, which is a close town to Ahmedabad. So we moved to Ahmedabad, I mean, sorry. And then I was still, for the 11th standard, I was still going to Gandhinagar. And since it was a big commute, I switched. I did 1 year there, and then for the 12th standard, I studied in Ahmedabad. But we
Which
had
school?
already moved.
I
Like we
forgot. Which school you switched to Ahmedabad?
in
I forgot.
Gandhinagar, I used to in Gandhinagar it
Infosys.
was Info City, but then the 12th standard I was in A1. It was close to my uncle's
Oh,
place in Memnagar, yeah. And I guess that's where your Ahmedabad journey started, which we will speak about. You were already in Kadi. It was already a transition, and then you stayed there for a few years, 5, 6 years,
yeah.
and then high school. So, and you moved to Ahmedabad, which was a big city. Moved to Ahmedabad too, and it was a big
Yeah.
transition for us. I was with my family and everybody, and it was a tough transition for us as a family, moving from a town to big city. Please tell us how was your experience?
So the good thing happened with me that I met Kesudada, right? He was right. He is the one of the trustee of the big school in Kadi, right? So I met with my friend, right? So my friend's sister told her brother that, you know, Pawan might need somebody else going further because up to 10th standard, he might, right, doesn't need anyone to help him out. But going further, he might, for the higher education, he might someone to help him. So, because the Kesudada, he was a kind of guy, he helps everyone, right? Every student, right? He sees everyone, every needy people comes with him, right? He always try to help him. So I met with him, and first it was just kind of meeting, right? And again, after 2 years, I think I passed my 10th standard. I got the result. So my father told me, why you are not meeting Kesu Dada, right? You can tell, right? I passed the exam. I have good result now. Just meet. So I met him at that time after getting the result, and he was surprised because he thought, oh, kind of he just came and met me, right? He might be not good in studying, so he forgot me, right? Kind of. Then I met him after the after the 10th standard result, and he was surprised. So he bought the sweet for me, and then from there the friendship started. And then you already decided to go to Ahmedabad, right? I was studying in University Gandhinagar, and I was still struggling to figure out the schools. So I went to Gandhinagar, some of the schools, but they did not take me admission, right? Because it was a international board, something ICSCI kind of thing was there. So they told, oh,
ICSC
you
board, yeah.
ICSE board. They told me, "Oh, you are from Gujarat board. If you are from CBSE board, we can might consider, but from Gujarat board, you cannot survive here." So I thought, okay, it's okay. So, but your mom told me, right? Her brother lives in Ahmedabad. So if you're going to search about school in Ahmedabad, if you cannot find, just give him a call. So I went to Ahmedabad 4 or 5 times, but I did not find anything. One day I went and I got exhausted in the summer and all, right? It was June month, I think, or May, something like that. And I was no stop at the four-way stop with the bus. I just came out from the bus and I was frustrated where to go now. So I only got one number from your mom, right? To call her brother, right? So I called and right, your cousin sister to pick up the call and she asked me, who are you? I told Pawan, oh, Pawan, I know Pawan, right? Kind of, because your mom
Yeah.
already informed them, right? Because we used to live kind of together, kind of. So
Yeah.
she told, right, just come to my house. So I was just standing next to her house, right? So I went up there and I ate lunch and all. Then they suggested, right, there is one school because her brother was studying in that school and it was a reputed school in Ahmedabad. This is how I got the contact and I went there. I discussed with the supervisor. And one thing was there already when I went there, already the merit list are out for the students. So already all the seats were full, kind of. So they told me all the merit lists are out. You are late. We cannot give you admission. So I requested them. So the kind of I was fighting for because I was so much depressed because this was the last school. Otherwise, I have to study again in Kadi only. So I was kind of fighting for the admission, and all the staff got together there, and they were all listening me, and I was fighting with the director of the HP Kapade school, Memnagar. And then after some times, after half an hour, one supervisor called me. Okay, I'll talk to director. Don't worry. Okay, and this is how they gave me the admission. But they came to know that I'm not living with my parents, so they thought that he might bunk the classes, he might not study, to whom to right, complain and anything, right, to reach out, right, he's not studying and all. So they told the one reason we cannot give you admission because you are not living with your parents, we cannot trust you, you bunk the classes, we don't have anyone to complain or reach out. So I told them, then how I studied till 10th standard, how I got 85, 86%. If my parents are not here, even though I managed it, so you have to trust me. So this is how they gave me the admission. So
You
this is
convinced
the
them.
uh, and then you also decided, right, to move to Ahmedabad. So the main concern was, yeah, it's good I got the admission, but where to live in Ahmedabad? It's not a small town that you can find places. Ahmedabad is a big city, right? It's very hard to find the place. If you find the place, people will ask, you are bachelor, no one will give you, right? If you're single and if you're male, then people hesitate to give you one room, right? Because for family matter or security, safety matter, and all those concerns. But luckily, you were moving there, and your mom helped me a lot. So I always, right, felt, and when I went to Ahmedabad also, "Oh, I have to meet your mom first." So, so she was so kind for at that time, and she really helped me out. Even though when I was coming to Canada, I called, oh, auntie, I got the visa. She called me. She shopped for me, cookers, everything, the
Yeah.
jackets and all, thermals and everything. So she did everything for me at that time. So
And yeah,
I always,
we've always kind of like, we've always loved you. You already know this is just for the viewers, but you've always been there. We know each other for the longest time. And then we've always respected you, what you do. We always had a bonding. I feel like we always had a bonding. And then we're close now, so that's super. You know, yeah.
so it's made my
That was
job easy because you guys moved and you offered me the place to live. So, right, initially you need somebody to help you out, right? And at that
yeah.
time, I remember your mom had new beauty parlor shop, right? And she was managing cooking food at home, going for the shop, right? And we two were there, right? So it was very hard for her also. Now I realize it was so tense for all, right? Managing house as well as shop, and it was
Oh
new.
yeah.
She was just establishing her right shop there, right? It's new for
Oh
her
yeah.
also, right? So it was
100%.
very
We
tough for her. But
It was the same because when we were living in Kadi, too, my mom was also, she was never a housewife only. My dad has been in car business. He has changed business throughout the years.
yeah,
But my mom has had always interest in as a beautician. And we moved to Ahmedabad too. It was a big transition for us because
yeah.
we pretty much left everything and we just moved just for my education and my well-being. My father left his business, mom left her business, and
She
we
was
didn't.
getting new customer. That's the difficult part.
Yeah, yeah, new customers, everything. So it was a well-established business that we were doing in Kadi, but it was in-house. So
Yeah.
the customers would come in-house. We had a partition in a house. We had a big house, but we had a partition in a house where there was a couple rooms, in Kadi, and then we moved to Ahmedabad. We basically just sold our house and everything, and we didn't buy a house in Ahmedabad. We I had my dad's cousin's place where we
Yeah.
lived, and then where we lived together, where you started living with us. And we bought a business for mom first. She wanted to buy, so we bought a big parlor in Ahmedabad, and then it was a risk because again, moving from a small town to a big city,
Yeah.
you don't know how
Lots
the
of
customers are
competition
gonna
for.
be, don't know how the people are gonna be, expenses, everything. But I guess that's a risk you have to take. We were pretty much in the same situations, but at a point, um, and then I guess you studied for your high school over there, 11, 12 standard. We both did. And then you started looking for engineering colleges. You wanted to study mechanical. And then engineering in itself is really expensive in India. You know how the studies, how the education is. And then I don't think you paid anything for your entire year of education for all the engineering. And it's really hard to pull that off because there's colleges, there's government colleges, which offers you free, mm, almost free education, but it's really competitive. It's hard to get a seat in any government college, in any course. How did you pull that off? How was your journey from that transition? Because you're already settling into a new city, alone by yourself, and then applying for colleges, and then the fees aspect of it. How was all that?
See. School life was easy, like till 10th standard, because there were not much expenses. And in the small town, you kind of knew everyone, right? All friends and everything, easy access of everything, right? But when you move to the bigger city, first that comes in mind the economical situations, right? So that was the 11th, 12th standard, the difficult part for me due to the expenses and all. And you are living in Ahmedabad, for everything you have to pay there. So that was the most difficult part for me. But always I had in mind, as soon as I get graduate, I want to know leave from Ahmedabad. I don't want to pay much in Ahmedabad now. I cannot afford it. It's too much because living 2 years and paying too much. But luckily, I got some of the good teachers, and you were there to support me, right? So nothing to pay for the rent, and as well as, and I got the good teacher for the tuition classes, right? So they did not ask anything because, after realizing my situation, right, they seeing my situation, right, they did not charge anything for me. So they are still like, I when I went to Ahmedabad last time, I met them because right, they helped me so much. Right now I'm in Canada, I think due to all those people who helped me out. Because from my own perspective, if I see, I was not that capable of landing here. But they helped me so much without any demand, right? Without any conditions, right? That he will, once he will start earning, he give me something. No, there was no such expectation from any kind of people who helped me out there. So but had always in mind, right, once I graduate, and I knew, right, there are government engineering colleges, they don't charge anything, but you have to come in the 20,000 rank to secure the place in government engineering colleges. But I have no any kind of expectation to get in a good field, right, career, like mechanical, computer engineering, or information technology engineering, all because those branches require more rank, right, like 5,000 rank or 10,000. But I got in between 17,000 around, and my main motto was just to get enroll in any field, doesn't matter, just get admission in the government engineering colleges. If it's situated in far end of the province, doesn't matter. If something is no commute there, it's okay, I'll live there. But just I want to leave Ahmedabad because I don't I got frustrated with the expenses Ahmedabad had, right? So this is how I luckily I got the result, and I got secured my rank within 17,000, and I got the admission in engineering college, and I was desperate to move out, and I moved out there.
17,000 amongst how many people? Please tell
Almost
us.
150, around 100,000.
150,000, 100,000
Yeah.
students scoring 20,000, 17,000. Not that easy. Not that easy at all. Um, yeah. And then you got that admission in I think Godhra,
In electrical
for
branch.
electrical branch. And then you studied your engineering for 4 years over there.
Yeah.
And then thinking about coming to Canada, spending three times money, so which you already don't didn't have at that time. And how did that thought come to your head? How was that? What was the thought process behind taking that risk? Where you already know if you go to Canada, it's gonna be three times more fees, plus just different life. I guess. What was the thought process of that? What made you think that you don't want to stay there and you want to come to Canada?
See, I had no imagination of coming of Canada, right? Because I know my financial aspect at that time. I was so happy that I got admission in engineering college, where I have not to pay anything. So I was just enjoying my first semester. And then after that, I thought, no, because if you go in engineering college, there is no dress code, right? Uniforms in the school, like such things. So all the students, right, coming in a different styles, right? It's a school, college life, right? So some stylish students comes, right, and I was going in
Typical.
a formal shirts and pants, right. So when, but I didn't have money to wear I never had a denim, right. So I never wear a denim in life, and all the students are coming in denim and t-shirts and goggles and all such things, right. So I started doing part-time like a marketing. You already knew, right, about that one. So I started doing the part-time marketing, like I was selling the clothes, belt and all. So I started getting money from there a little bit, and that helped me a lot. So I bought my first laptop, I first cell phones, which have touch screen and all, like Android. Before I had keypad one, the till second year of engineering. And then from there, I started seeing the world, right? because if you have the Android phone, you have internet access, then you can start scrolling up and then start, exposing yourself, right, to the world, right? Get exposure in. So, but I had no idea I'm going to Canada. When I reached to the third year of that one, so I always used to visit Kadi in a semester break, and I knew one of shop guy, right? Jigar. Jigar, his dad was a shopkeeper, right? A grocery store owner, right? So I knew him from sixth standard. I used to buy grocery, and he always, oh, you can give after 2 months when you have money. Don't worry, take it from my shop. So always had a good friendship. I always used to go and spend time couple of hours when I have a break and have anything. So after third years, right? His son wanted to come to Canada and he got rejected. So he went to Australia. And then he started kept telling me because he thought if Pawan will go with my son, then it will be good, right? He can get help. Both will live together. So I had not to worry with my son for my son. So he was in that kind of mindset. So he started kept telling me, go to Canada, go to Canada, go to Canada, right? And I kept refusing. Why these guys are telling me? I didn't have money. I don't have anything, right? Why is telling me? But after 1 year, what I thought, because when you reach to the fourth year of your engineering, the placement starts. People start looking for a job. Then I realize people are not getting job also. Forget about the salary. They're not getting the job also. And it was new college, the no placement was there. Almost new built up college. So then I realized if I get the 10,000 rupees job per month or 20,000, how can I build my house? How can I support my parents? How even can after marriage also, how can I support my right family also? So that was started concern for me. And then I realized might be taking risk going to Canada might fulfill. There is only one way I found this way. If I go and I get succeed, it can get fulfilled. Otherwise, this way I'm not going to get fulfilled. All those dreams. So I started thinking on that one. So first people told me just give the IELTS exam and apply for the colleges. If you get admission, then we'll think about the financial aspect, right? Let's see. At that time, I didn't have passport, and one of my friends, Smith, he always helped me, right? S- Today he posted he got a baby girl.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a colleague of ours. Really good, he's super nice guy. His
so nice guy.
father,
So,
yeah, he got a baby girl. Congratulations to him.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so he just posted today, so I congratulated him. So he told, "Oh, I'll make passport." It was no online system at that time, so I told him I don't have money right now. I'll give you cash. So he paid online and everything. So he did passport for me. Then I don't know where to go for the IELTS classes and all, where to find right proper guidance. So he just took me to Ahmedabad. He showed the classes. He talked to them. My friend wants to go to Canada. Please help him out. If you need anything, let me know. So from there, the journey started. And he also wanted to come with me. And he told Pawan, see, if I will not get job in Reliance, I'll go with you. If I'll get, I won't. He got the job in Reliance. He didn't come with me. But when I went to India, right, he told, oh, it was good, right, if I have to come with you. Kind of, he told me. So it was good, but lots of people helped me out. So once I got the IELTS result and admission from University of India, I have applied in only one university once because I didn't have money to apply in all those university, giving $100 for every right admission form. So I applied in only one, and I luckily I got the admission. I got the IELTS result as required by the University of Windsor. Then the financial struggle starts. Then I started asking lots of people. My father started in village, my uncle and all. And somehow in 1 month we managed all those $15,000 around, 15 to 16,000, $10,000 GIC, and around $7,000 first first semester fee, $7,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for people who doesn't know what GIC, what Pawan is talking about is,
Yeah.
once you start applying when you're in India, you apply for colleges over here. Any college you apply to, there's already college fees there for applications, your application fees, which is almost $100. And I know you're telling me you only had, I think, 10,000 rupees at the time in your account, which is
Yeah.
equal to $200. So you could only apply to one college. And then you only applied to one college, University of Windsor, which you got the admission in, and then you passed out eventually. But that's the only one you applied to. And then you and your dad managed that $15,000, where there was a rule at the time, where when you say GIC means you have to show from India, you have to show the Canadian government that you have $10,000 in your 10,000 Canadian dollars savings in your Canadian in your account, to support yourself when you move to Canada for your
For the
rent
rent
and
and
everything.
house and all.
Yeah, for rent and everything. And then so you put that money in your account from India, and then when you come here in Scotiabank, you once you report that you're here, the Scotiabank kind of gives you that money monthly for your expenses.
Yeah,
Um,
roughly
Plus
600.
you're paying $600 or whatever the monthly 2 month cost is, and then and then the first semester fees that you had to pay from India.
Yeah,
But you're still studying for the other semesters here. So when you come here, then you start, you take a job, you find a job part time, and then you make money on the side, part time, and then you pay fees. I guess that's how it works, right?
yeah,
How was your because everybody did this because it was the same process for all of us,
yeah,
as an international student, coming from India. It's pretty much the same similar journey we all have. Um, so you got that admission, you got that money, you got that admission to University of Windsor, um, and then you moved to Canada on winter time. How was that
yeah.
experience? And then you came to Ontario, heavy winter. Um, it's just dark, just depressing, no jobs.
But I was excited.
Yeah, because Windsor is a place where there's a lot of huge, like, popular universities and lots of students. Already tough to get a part-time job there. How did you manage all that? How did you manage living at a place, the mental stress? Because you're probably thinking at every moment that you just want to go back, but you
Yeah,
can't.
because
You can't.
yeah, weather was so tough because as soon as I landed, you called me at the Toronto airport, right? I was sitting there, waiting for the boarding for the Windsor, right? You called me, hey Pawan, how's Canada seems for you now? Then I told, oh, it's very good, right? Because outside it was snowing, right, and the white snow. So I wanted to touch that snow, right? I didn't realize it's so freaking cold outside, right? At that time. As soon as I landed in Windsor, I came out. Oh my goodness, it's so cold. But my friends, send some of his friends to pick up me from the airport, Windsor airport. So I immediately sat in the car. I went to home, and then it was jet lag at that time, right? So I just ate and I slept. And next day, I wanted to explore nearby areas where I was living, and luckily the my room was just close to the University of Windsor. Just open the door, within 1 minute you enter the university. It was like that. So it was very close there. But I wanted to explore all those, how Canada looks, how here the shops looks, and all those. It was new and everything new for me. So I went and outside for 5 or 10 minutes, and it seems so cold for me. I thought it's very hard for me to survive here, and it seems I will die. It was like that for me, and I thought it's better to go back to India. Then I thought, oh, I have already taken lots of money from all the peoples. How can I pay them? And if I start working in India, it will take 20, 25 years to pay all those money back. So it's better. At that time, I had only one option, to stay and fight back. So that thing I realized, and I started working on that one and got part-time job to support for the next semester fee and all those things. So this is how the university works for me. And the master program here was not that much difficult like India. If I have done master from India, it was more difficult for me. You cannot do part-time there. But in Canada, it was not, because I'm not saying it was not tough. I was enrolled in a course-based one, not the research one. So I'm not researching on a particular topic. So it will take lots of time for me to do the lab work and going for the company to do the projects and all. It was a course-based, just to study the theoretical little bit and just get passed. So it was not so difficult. So I managed somehow. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you already study engineering in India, I
Yeah.
guess master's is it is nothing, right? Pretty much because education is harder there compared
Yeah,
to here.
there education is harder because of the lots of people and competition were very high, right? So in India at that time. So
Yeah, yeah, and it's over here, even if the competition's there, but like Yeah, I mean, I guess lesser compared to India, lesser competition, and then
And
plus,
more
you know,
opportunity, less
education.
competition, more opportunity. That's why it's good here.
Yeah, because you know, because people, because the streams and everything is open here. You know, everything is practical, less theoretical compared to India, where there's more theoretical. You know, people are more focused on theoretical things, compared to here. And then you passed out your Windsor University,
Yeah.
and then you moved over to the West Coast. Why?
Because I wanted to pay all those loans I have taken, right? So because, right, as soon as you graduate, you start looking for the field job for sure. But in my condition, I have to pay those right money I have taken from the people to study, right? So I didn't have time to explore 6 months, get land in the field job. So I decided first pay the money, then we'll see what happens. So whatever job I got the job in restaurant in Alberta, and I moved right away because I wanted to pay as soon as possible, so my parents will not feel burdened, right? Somebody will complain your son now working, not paying our debt, right? All those things. So that was the not a good decision at that time, what I thought also, but eventually, right, you have to take decision according to your situation because no one knows your situation, right? You know you better, right? What you are going through. So I got the job here and I moved the Alberta. So because
Yeah, you got the job in BC, correct?
yeah, after
Um,
Alberta I moved. So after working in 2 years in Alberta, uh, I met my wife kind of right online. So she was living in BC, Vancouver at that time. So after working 2 years, and she told me, why you are staying alone in the small cities or small town. It was small town, 2,500 people. So nothing was there, no facilities. So we got engaged, and then she told me, right, it's better to move with me. And it's a big city, so you get more opportunity to work in your field. And she always wanted to work in my field only. So I went there and I was started looking for job, and I got job in electronics and I started working there. So this is how I moved BC. So it was not tough moving BC because she was already there. So she helped me out there.
mm. So if you would have, what was your thought process behind, because you could have you stayed maybe in BC or even, you know, wherever you guys decided, BC or Alberta, you could have done there's options, right? You can still, once you do your mechanical, you can probably do, you can get your electrical certificates, and there's more options, where you can probably make more money yearly salary, right? But then you didn't choose to do that, and instead of not using your education, because you pretty much built for that, right? You studied
Yeah.
electrical, and then master engineering, and then masters, but you ended up being in a business, owning your own business. Um, what do you think now? Like, what do you think it was like? Do you think it was a waste, like it was waste of time, or do you think, you learned a lot of things along the way, so it doesn't really matter as long as you're happy, and like, how do you feel about it now?
See, you have the mindset when you come from India, right? Well, as soon as you done with your degree, you will get the job in your field. It okay, you get no less salary, it's okay, but you land in job. But here the scenario is different, right? Not I'm talking about the IT or computer science, because you guys do the practical things all the time in the college and all. So here there is nothing such thing. But in the electrical field, you have to, if you want to work as a professional engineer, you have to go through the PN's program, and it will take 3 to 4 years to do that one, and there is no guarantee you will complete it. It required good knowledge for that one. And also, if you're going going towards the electrician side, so it will take to get a electrician certificate, it will get 4 to 5 years for you, start from the apprenticeship and all those things. So for me it was saying, oh, 5 years I have to invest, and then I have to start from the bottom in that initial stage, then I have to 5 years or 6 years to reach somewhere. So it looks so far for me at that time that it's very hard to reach there, and I did not want to uh, invest those times for there, right? So that's why I started looking for a job. Yeah, I was working in electronics, but that was the same job, right? So it was boring kind of for me, and we're not paying at that time. So I was looking something different, and I had the experience in restaurant, so I had the confidence that I can do it there. So that's why I started searching for that one. I also discussed with my wife, right? She told that uh, if you want to do that, if you are happy in that one, do it. I'm here to support. If you fail also, I'm already here. So that gave me the confidence, because at that time she was already landed in the field job and she was started earning good. So that confidence was there, that if I will not do anything, she will support me. So that's why I started looking for the job businesses, and luckily I got one. That's why I moved to Calgary, because that shop is in Calgary, right? Because if you go buy shops in Surrey, British or Vancouver, so it's so expensive in the big cities. You cannot afford it in the initial time. Bank will not lend you money and all those stuff. So here, that's why the main reason to move in Calgary. I got the business, and my wife was working from home, so she has no any headaches to moving here anyway. So that's why we end up in Calgary. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's one thing to learn because if you look at it now, if I look at it as an outsider, I'm like, okay, oh, this guy spent all these years studying this field and then now he's not working on the same field, he's not. But I guess one thing to learn there would be um, you don't know somebody's life, right? So like you don't know at that time what decision you had to make. Because like you said, when you had to go to the college, you basically were like, as long as I don't have to pay the fees, I don't care what college I get to, what course I get
Yeah, no one
into.
knows
It
your
doesn't matter.
situation. You know better, right? Yourself. So
Exactly. So like, so if I see it this way, then I'm probably going to judge you, but then only what's best for you at that time, on the knowledge that you have at that time, because
yeah.
not everybody, has access to the same knowledge or the same people. So I guess that's one thing. So I guess you shouldn't be feeling bad, for the decisions that you take at the time, when your knowledge was, limited for that thing. So I guess. Because I've had people, I've seen people where, they, because of a decision or a bad decision, they blame themselves and then they, put themselves on fire afterwards. They're like, okay, why did I do that? Maybe if only I would have done this, it would have been like this right now. There's always, but I don't think you should be blaming yourself for that because you don't know, right? You don't know at that time what the situation was. I mean, not the other person doesn't know, only you know what the situation was. So I guess you took the best decision as per your situation
Yeah.
at the time, which you thought was the best. Um, so that was quite a journey that you had from Bihar to Canada. Was and I know it was a thrilling, it was an exciting, and it was a long journey. Um, you know, um, do you think that there is anything that you can, let's say there's a guy from Bihar who's watching our video, maybe, we want to try and push him, right? We want to try and make him in a way where he gets confidence. What is it? Is there a couple things that comes to your mind that you can, tell him, tell us, tell the viewers? Um,
For me, I can only tell with my experience. Keep working what you are doing. And I think the best thing to come out from poverty or from that area you are coming from, the situation is bad. Just there is only one way. Just first go through the education one. Study well first. Then you have the option to choose or someone to help you out. If you not study well, no one is going to help you out, or even you yourself, you are not going to help you, right? So first study. And if you don't have money, so nowadays lots of options are there. YouTubes are there. That time there was no online system, nothing was there. Now we have lots of option. If you don't have money also, you are not deprived of education nowadays. So it's good, focus on study. Once you come out from the study, there are lots of people, or even if there are not people, you can find a way to get success. Yeah, and survive yourself in better position. Yeah, what I have no experience all those years. So, and don't think so far, because if you think so far, so what happens, no, if you don't fulfill all those things, they start no frustrating. It's not coming in my way. I never felt for Canada, right? I will go to Canada. It suddenly happened. Started thinking. But if you start thinking from 10th standard, it never going to be happen, right? So first focus on your basic thing. What's your basic thing to fulfill first, like 10th grade, then 11th, 12th, then your graduation and all those things. Then according to whatever talent you have inherited in those years, on that basis, you can make your decisions. because I was not comfortable in the technical sides. So I was comfortable in the restaurant side. So I did it. If I'm earning less also, I'm happy. No stress. So that was the simple thing I kept in mind and it working for me till now.
Yeah, you always been a guy who kind of follows, who follows their heart. It's not so much of thinking or like thinking in advance, and because that way you lose your confidence. I guess you've always been a person who thinks from the heart, and then I guess if you keep on doing that, whatever you take on, whatever your responsibility is, if you do it with pure heart, and then people support you, people see that, they notice you. As long as
Yeah.
you're not doing it to show them, as long as you're doing your own thing with honesty,
Yeah.
and
If you are
then
true to yourself,
it'll
then
happen.
people will support you. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you just gotta believe in yourself. You just gotta keep on, I guess, doing, because yeah, it's probably not easy. It's not gonna be, but
Yeah.
people will notice, and then they will help you out. That's then somehow, from somewhere somebody will come, and then you will go through the situation as long as you're honest and um
Door
doing
always
that.
opens if you work hard, what I thought.
Yeah, yeah. Um, we still have like there's a lot of like stories that we should be. This was just the basic overview, and we're probably gonna do a lot more sessions with deeper stories and such. Is there anything exciting going on in your life right now, or
Right
any
now, we are
plans?
just yeah. Right now, we're just thinking to we have one store right now, so we are just thinking to establish that one first to set up in a good way. Suppose if I'm not working tomorrow, also employee will be there. They are running, so we can move on to the next one. But we are focusing. So in couple of years, we can set up in a good way, efficient way, so we can have more stores in future.
Of course, 100%. Um, I guess we can wrap this up now, and I hope we have more sessions. Is there anything that you would like to share? Any shout outs? Anything you wanna share to wrap this up?
Just do in which you are feeling comfortable. Don't try to impress surrounding peoples. What I felt so far. So, and I'm doing that one, and it's working well for me. Yeah.
And that's what you're gonna wanna teach everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So I just hope we learned something from your life there, and then we'll see you when we see you next time.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for inviting me in your first podcast, and good
No
luck to you.
problem, no problem. Thank you, thank you. See ya.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get